Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Garadhara, Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta-vrinda.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta-vrinda.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana. Siddhaswarupananda,
Haribo Krishna,
Paramahamsa.
Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Naminai, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Navide, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate. Haribo.
So let's continue what we did discuss yesterday. It's about the glories of the Supreme Person. To recap, to have a recall, it is about His qualities, His pastimes, and the discussion was about the narrative of Lord Krishna expressing Himself, telling Himself who He is to Arjuna. So the discussion yesterday was about if you want to know someone, you must ask that person. Okay. And there's a process wherein if you are not really a loving devotee, a loving servant of the Supreme Person, and the love that the individual that is inseparable from him has been misdirected to this world, and the influence of the modes of material nature is about material contamination. So he's cut off. So it is imperative and it's a must that we must hear from someone who is a pure, loving servant of God, a saintly person, to know and understand who God is and who we really are, and how we can be established in that direction. How can you give something you don't have? But in this case, you have inseparable from you is love for Krishna, but the living entity who comes to this world is now covered by material nature, and because of the false ego, false lordship, that love is misdirected upon matter. And this person who supposedly will be guiding us to get away from this miserable world, to be in harmony with the Supreme Person, he's not the person who is qualified. Is it clear? Okay. There's these stories, when I was studying in our school, we have this story of the prodigal son. You know the story of the prodigal son? You still know that story? That his father is very wealthy and he made a decision to get his share of what wealth he is sort of like entitled to. So the father gave him that. So what he did was he got all the wealth and he traveled. And he went to this outside of the kingdom of his father, and what he did was just live lavishly until all the wealth that was given to him is gone. So it's common sense that if you don't have any money or wealth, then you have to work for it. Huh? Nothing comes easy or dole out. You know what's dole out? Nobody gives you anything. You have to work for it. Okay? That's the nature of this world. There's no such thing as something for nothing. Okay? So even in spiritual life, it's like that. You have to make effort. Because the difference is that when an individual is guided by God Himself, by the spiritual master, and he's able to be motivated by the influence of the Paramatma or the Lord within the heart, it gives the person has this clarity this happiness wherein when he decides to make a decision to please God, to engage in devotional service, he is motivated. The instigation does not come from the outside. The relief does not come from the outside, but rather what is inseparable from you. That's why the devotee is master of his senses. He can control the urge of the mind, the urge of the tongue, the belly, and the genitals, because he is able to bypass or negate, is not attracted to the desire that is being given by Maya or illusion through the mind, because his focus now is about a relationship that he wanted, or he's engaging in activities of rendering service, and he wants it to be very close. Okay? Kasi there's a saying, you cannot serve two masters at the same time. You cannot, row a boat between two rivers. You have to make a choice. You must be responsible. So in this case, I just reminded you about the prodigal son, because after a while he is penniless, no more money, he has to work. He became a slave or a servant tending pigs. Okay? And he give food to the hogs. And then what he eats is worse than the food that is being given to the hogs in their place. So he's beginning to think, why am I here? He begin to feel helpless. And then out of humbleness, because it's really a drag already, living like a pig. Okay? Because if you live as a human being, and then after a while, you are put in a situation and being forced to live like a hog or a pig, then after a while, because it's not your true world, you begin to think and express in your mind, in your heart, why are you here? Okay? So when the living entity comes to this material world, after struggling so hard every day, which we are all experiencing, a struggle to find relief and happiness, and the question is, are we getting it? And then we begin to ponder in our mind, to think, what is my situation? Is there a way out of here? And then at the time, if we're fortunate, we can listen to the guidance of the Lord within the heart, and through the arrangement of the Supreme Person, we come in contact with someone who can guide us to go back home to our Father. So the point there is that the prodigal son, he was humbled because of his situation. When you ain't got nothing, because when you're a rich man, you think you own something. You have this arrogance. You think you're independent. But when everything is taken away from you, just like, for example, you're using this body as a venue, meaning this body, you try to find happiness through the senses. And when the body breaks down, you're put in a situation wherein your body cannot move anymore because of the disease, or your body doesn't function properly anymore because you have kidney problem. And when you have kidney problem, it's like what happened is body parts, internal organs becomes inflamed and it becomes destroyed because of the toxic waste that cannot be cannot be put away through body metabolism because your system has broken down. Okay? So you're put in a helpless situation. You're in coma now. Then you begin to realize that you're powerless. You come to that point, you're powerless. And then in this case, the prodigal son, because he thinks he came from a rich family and he's thinking, I have so much, and then he spent it all, the good karma, okay? Like you come to this material world, you have good karma. Okay? Good karma. Meaning you are born in a certain family, with a certain intelligence, with a certain looks, but you also have bad karma. So in the case of this prodigal son, his good karma was spent lavishly and it's gone. Because material karma or good karma is like having fuel. You have a car, you have fuel. For example, you have 1,000 pesos. Okay, you can buy, as of now, you can buy 20 liters of fuel at 50 pesos per liter gasoline. And if your car runs at 10 kilometers per liter, you have only 20 liters, you times it, okay? 200 kilometers. So when the fuel is exhausted, is gone, the car stops, okay? When the good karma is spent, it's gone. So, zero. That's the difference between what is transcendental. When you finish all your good karma, zero. And then bad karma comes in. And you don't know how the amount or what substantiated, okay? You experience all the toothache, disease, getting robbed, okay? Put in a situation like you're born in Utopia. You know what's Utopia? Utopia? 9 years, there's no rain. People, they have to leave the place and travel. And when they're traveling, there are those bandits who, they're very poor. But the bandits, they steal their body parts. They kill them. And then they have this storage facility wherein they get the body parts, the liver, the eyes, and put it there and send it and put it online. Okay? So, the point is this. Activities in this material world, good or bad karma, we should transcend it. Because when we have good and bad karma, we come back to this world. Understand? But due to God's mercy, when we come in contact with the bona fide spiritual master, the saintly person, we're able to diminish, eradicate all the karma. And when we experience bad karma, it's not that really it's like you experience it and it's being rid of because you experience it. But because of God's mercy, you may be doing horrible activities, but the effect upon you will just be a cut or not so much pain for you. But some individuals, when time comes, they have to leave the body. The body breaks down. Understand? So that's my point. My point is that the living entity, all of us, we're like the prodigal son traveling here. And we're trying to use facilities, energy that belongs to God. And if we finish all of it, the good karma, and due to time's influence, this body that we have under the law of time, and if we are not able to appreciate with wisdom that the opportunity to have this human form of life is an opportunity to use our intelligence to ask this question, why am I here? Why do I have to struggle so hard? Why do I have to work every day? Okay? Just for the upkeep of the body, and at the end, I'm gonna leave everything behind. And then you ask, is there a solution to all of this? And then the solution is to leave this temporary world. And how can you get out of this temporary world when we ourselves, we are limited, we are not all powerful? What medium will you use? Like all the scientists, the rich countries, they want to go to a heavenly situation. They want to get out of this environment, and they use their senses, their resources. But because it's matter, they come back again to this world. You can go to, supposedly they're saying they can go to the planet Mars or Moon, but in that, they come back again. It's a dead end. You cannot get out of this shell of darkness by your own power. And whatever resources that's given to you, either you use it properly, you use it to support and help you be connected with a relationship with the Supreme Purifier, the cause of all causes, what is pleasing to Him, that will be decided how responsibly you use this material body. Is it clear? If you're irresponsible, meaning you don't follow the good instruction, the transcendental instruction of the spiritual master, which is Krishna's love for us, so we can go back home where there's no suffering. So no matter how much you deny God's power, you deny that relationship, it will be there. The difference is that if we are disconnected, our world will be a very selfish world, a selfish activities wherein we are empty-hearted and we are lost in this darkness. That is the situation of everybody else. No matter how you kick, no matter how you deny it, you will have to face the inevitable. You leave everything that is in your temporary possession. And the question is, what kind of life are you living? What is your happiness? What is your security? You can check that within yourself. All of you here, you check that every day. So how do you get out of this misery? By sleeping. Okay? But not thinking of the reality. Yes. And not only that, even though you try hard, but because of this influence of the modes of passion, our focus is a search for happiness through the senses, trying to squeeze happiness, which is inseparable from you, through flickering sense enjoyment through the senses. Okay. This is the material world. So now, yesterday we discussed about the beauty of Lord Krishna and the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So one of the process of devotional service is the practice of hearing and chanting the glories of God. Because the focus that we are now experiencing is a focus wherein our life, our senses, everything is focused upon this temporary moving world. We're disconnected from the source of happiness. Just like this prodigal son, he disconnected himself from that world. There's this material conception that wealth can make him happy, okay? He got all the wealth that he's entitled to, given to him by his father, but he just wasted it. So now you have this wealth. What is your wealth? You have this body. It belongs to God. Yesterday we were discussing about a situation wherein a lot of those who are seeker of truths ba, they're looking for the truth. And then they read the Bible and this is the truth, okay? So they go out and try to express the truth through communicating with everybody. But they cannot answer this problem, why we are suffering in this material world. So the reason they ask us when they call you through the cell phone, to the telephone, is they try to rattle you that how come we're suffering in this world. Okay? Because their teaching is God made this world for our enjoyment. Go out and multiply. Okay? So that is, and they're saying, and when they approach you, they're saying, you want the kingdom of God? Okay, they show you a world wherein the elephants, the tiger, the snakes, they are friendly. Okay? You can pat the tiger, the rhinoceros, while you're drinking tea and biscuits with your son and bashing sa swimming pool made of rubber and plastic. And they say, you want to go to the kingdom of God? Okay? Join us. Be a member. Okay? And when they talk to you, they tell you, how come they're suffering in this world? They cannot answer that. No. Because their point is to put fear in your heart, to join, so they can save you. You understand? How can be a drowning man or a blind person guide another blind person who's drowning? Is it understandable? So the process of wisdom is transcendental, not it is the topmost knowledge, and that topmost knowledge and wisdom is connected and inseparable from God. And the holy names of God are inseparable from God. The spiritual world is the holy names. So the holy name comes. Krishna himself comes. Okay? The problem with these people is that they cannot express and really make it clear that we are in the wrong dimension. We're not God. We're not meant to manipulate something that's not belong to us and try to squeeze happiness. And it's so stupid, and in ignorance, you're trying to find happiness through this matter and trying to, you make this move wherein you try, you're blind and you're groping in the dark, looking for shelter, your tongue is tumbling. When you stumble, you hit your head on this rock, no? Bang! And then you're a mess. Like everybody here is a mess. Why? You're fearful. You may be surrounded with material things. You may be having all these material things like wealth, good family, a country that is very wealthy, but everybody's life is a mess. Why? Because we are disconnected with the source of happiness and life. God, Krishna. That's why we discussed yesterday about the glories of God. Because Lord Krishna expressed himself to Arjuna that all you see here belongs to him. But he said that, what is I'm talking about all these potencies, but with a simple, he's telling us, just with a simple fragment, he's sustaining the universe, okay? Lord Krishna is in his kingdom, okay? He's also here. He's outside of everything. He's inside of everything. How can we know that? When our mind has become purified from material consideration, when we are not doubting anymore, because of coming here, Maya or illusion, the three modes Maya is pulling our strings. Lahat ng senses natin. So what will happen to us? We're not really in control, but we're thinking we're in control. So that's the problem. We are facing this situation wherein we are muddling in the mud, full of mud, drowning, we're blind, and we think we're in control. You see what experience everybody's experiencing. Everybody's looking for shelter. Everybody's fearful. And at the end, they'll experience the pain of being separated from all the things they're trying to control. Either your husband, your wife, your child, the work you're in, because you have to leave the body. What if you're so much attached to the body? Have you seen people, when they're very sick, their body's sick, they go to the hospital, doctor, save me, save me. How can the doctor save you physically when the doctor, even himself, will also die? That's why when Hiranyakashipu asked Lord Brahma to give me immortality, Lord Brahma said, immortality of the body is impossible. Even me, who is the creator of this universe, somewhere along the time, I have to leave this universe and leave this body. But the difference is that Lord Brahma, who is a great Vaishnava, the creator, our Father, can bring his body anywhere, like Narada Muni, like our spiritual master. The difference with us is we come here by force. You come here by force. The devotee of God comes here by choice. They come here, they live according to their choice. Kung kailan nila gusto. So, they're teaching us the science of yoga, wherein while you are in this world, wherein you made this choice, you're now subjugated, under control by Maya, and influenced by becoming enslaved by Maya, or your focus is simply trying to grasp in this darkness, trying to control these material elements and trying to squeeze what you think will give you relief. What is relief in this material world? What is relief? Okay? Relief, eating, sleeping, mating. It is all an expression of our anger and frustration through the senses. That's why everybody's angry here. Angry doesn't mean you're just cursing. No. When you are servant of the senses, you follow lust, forced by lust. You become frustrated. That's why you're angry. That's why you hear the songs that they sing. It's supposed to be about love. But after hearing it for a while, what happens is that it becomes dull because it's tasteless, it's matter. The sound that you hear, even though it's the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, it's all dead matter. Okay? Dead elements. And the living is you, the person. And you're here like the prodigal son trying to use God's energy. And when time comes, you have to leave the body. Now, the question is, even though you deny God, you say there is no God, what will happen? There's no controller. In the end, you will be controlled because you're not all-powerful. So, and that separates us from a relationship of love with the Supreme Person because we are driven by lust. And when you're driven by lust, you're very angry because you're always frustrated and you lose your intelligence. Kita ba niyo yung science na yun? So the reason we are not enthusiastic to render service to Krishna, to the Supreme Person, is because we are not experiencing this transcendental relationship wherein our heart is gliding towards closeness with the Supreme Lovable Person, Krishna. So the science na pinapalo natin is that our love should be very close. There's nothing nothing in the middle that stop us from experiencing a very close relationship. What is that? What is stopping us? Our own will, our selfishness, and it's guided by lust, by Maya pulling a string. Because for so long, we are enslaved by Maya. So when you come to this process, it's very hard to get out from the clutches of Maya. But to the process of the wisdom that is given to us, you be chanting. And through chanting, your heart becomes purified. You begin to see your true identity, your life, and then you're suffering this word. And with the wisdom that is coming from our spiritual master, we will be guided. It's a direction towards that eternal world. And that world is the science of learning and understanding pure unalloyed devotional service and what is pleasing to God. Yun yung process na pinapalo natin. So this lady, she tries to placate you. Alam yung placate? Parang yung, have you seen this mga sugarol? Kita yung mga sugarol? Araw-araw pagising sa umaga, what do they do? Magsisigarilyo, yung manok, himasimasin. Pinaplacate nila. So they try to placate you. Oh, I like your teaching, I like your teaching. No. What we're telling you is that time and tide waits for no man. Alam niyo yung tide? Alam niyo yung tide? Ha? Hindi yung tide na panglaba, ha? Yung tide ba? Di ba? Tataas yung tubig, bababa. Okay? It waits for no man. Time. So ngayon, ang importante, ang question, time and tide waits for no man. Halimbawa, nabigyan ka, nandito ka sa material world, you have this good karma, but there will come, you have to face the inevitable. You have to live, even though napaligiran ka ng good karma. Alam mo? Halimbawa, yung person, tuwan-tuwa siya, okay? Kasi nabenta yung lupa. His land was bought by the government for 30 million. And in his happiness, so much happiness within, the hype, acceleration, the heart, I'm wealthy. Cardiac arrest. Okay? That's why when the reason we try hard to sit down and meditate, to become sober. Alam mo yung sober? Kalma ba? So we can watch the mind. We can hear the Lord within the heart. But how can you watch the mind when you identify with the mind? Huh? And because of the conditioning in this world and being influenced by Maya. So yung flavor, nandyan na. Barbecue flavor ba yan o ano ba yan? Okay. Ginisa. Ginisa. Okay. Okay. Yung binibenta niya, nandyan na yung flavor, hindi na maalis. And you're so much attached to the flavor. But if you understand, yes, you're not the tongue, you're not all of this, you don't belong to this world. Okay? And if you're fortunate, you have this humbleness, just like the prodigal son. He came to the point, I have nothing. When you have nothing, you ain't got nothing, it's very easy. But if you think you're rich, you have something, it's very hard because you will be taking shelter of something that does not belong to you, and sooner or later you're gonna leave it. And especially when you're under the control of the mind, by the desire, you think you have something. What is that something? What you have experienced before. That when you're lonely, the mind will tell you, have you tried it? Have you tried it? You were trying to take dope, party, and be merry, and you're frustrated, and then you stop. You try to be liberated, okay? And then Maya tells you, why not try it again? Okay? On and on, the cycle. The journey continues in this miserable world, all alone, under the influence of Maya. You're shackled. Alam yung shackled? That's why I give you, our spiritual master gives us this analogy of the insect who gets attracted to the spider web and gets stuck. So, the process that is given to us is a simple process. Never forget the holy names. Remember the holy names. And then, when you chant the holy names, you'll be able to see material desires. And then while you're making progress, your heart now, your life, your whole being glides towards happiness and a relationship that you want to cling on, to be very close. But the desires are there. But you will be very intelligent. It's just like a bird that passes by. You don't let the bird nest on your head and shit on your head. Just let it pass by while you're engaging in the service. Because now you experience this closeness. You're pleasing someone you love. You care for someone. Just like a mother who's cooking, cooking food for the baby. Okay? He's very close to the baby. Okay? So, she always watched the baby just by her side. Okay? There's fiesta going on. Okay, the dog barking, there's somebody there, she's not interested. She's just there to protect the baby. So that should be how close we are with the Supreme Person. Every moment of our life. That will protect us from Maya. Because at that point, we are able to please someone who is eternally connected to us. We're not eternally connected to this body. Now we are connected with this body. Covered by material nature. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, or the chemicals, this machine. Now, the science is to be connected with eternality, with someone who wants us to be experiencing this loving devotion, which gives him pleasure, the Supreme Person, and the association of the devotees, who are our well-wisher. Alam yung well-wisher? Who wishes us well. Look the difference between someone who is not our well-wisher, who is trying in control. For example, a parent, okay? A parent. I'm a mother, okay? I have a child. And you go to, now the medium for enjoyment or relief, cell phone, okay? Tab. But there is something attached to that. It is a medium of Maya also. Okay? To enter your heart. To enter your heart through the eyes, through the ear. Not only that, through the house. You may be sitting in a toilet bowl, no? But Maya can come and enter your eyes, your ear and destroys your heart, your love. Okay? So the mother who is ignorant, she feels now, or the parent, kawawa naman ang anak ko, walang cellphone. Baligyan nato ang baboy para makapalit cellphone, para maka-ML siya, para dili, okay? So, she won't feel left out. Okay? Luoy kaayo, left out. So the mother, the father who's ignorant, gives him cellphone. Okay? Then problem comes in. The kid, ML and ML, TikTok, and what enters her heart now is Maya through the subtle energy. It's like you're trying to get out of this jail, but the medium now is getting, you know what's esposas sa English? Okay? But shackles ba? Mga posasan ka. Okay? Hindi ka na makaalis. You see, Maya tricks you. Kawawa, I'll give him happiness. I'll protect my child because what will the people say? Kawawa naman sa classroom, wala siyang tab, naglalaro siya ng games, anong games nila parate na, ngayon high-tech naman yung games. Wala nang Mario na tatalon-talon, iba na. Okay? Pagbukas mo, naandyan na lahat ng pwedeng ma-agitate yung senses mo. Para lahat ng senses mo, ikaw mismo, kinahon ka ni Maya sa cellphone. Naintindihan nyo? When you think you're free. And those arrogant individuals, no, I don't want to serve God. Because when you are disconnected, Maya influence you by the mode of passion. You become very angry and frustrated. You become angry at God. The person who gives you supposedly whatever you want, you're here in this material world now, Krishna gives you everything. But because you're disconnected with that love, you're still frustrated and angry. Okay? You're angry because you cannot get what you want. Kaya yung relationship mo is that if there's God, He's a mean God. Yun ang point nila eh. Why we're suffering? How come it does not get along our will? Okay, why do I have to die? Why do I have to struggle? You can become angry at the person who possesses everything. But if you have wisdom, because the person who is in lust, he loses his intelligence. That's why when you chant the holy names, you become purified from lust. You're able to see and appreciate, yes, this body will be the cause, the mind will be the cause of my imprisonment here. But it can also be my freedom when I'm guided by someone who loves me, so I can use this material energy which belongs to God. So, the prodigal son, he's given these material things, but he uses it for his own enjoyment. You come to this world, you're given everything by our Father, Krishna. The air you breathe, the water you drink, the place you stand on, the gravity there so you won't float and be driven away from this planet Earth. So you can, what do you call, you can be entrenched here. You'll be rooted here. Okay? So what do? You are able to appreciate. Yes, I can connect myself. While you're living in this body, because sooner or later you have to leave the body, you will experience this transcendental consciousness wherein your relationship is very close with Lord Krishna. Just like, I'll give you one example. Attachment. Okay? Attachment. Okay. If you're attached to something or to this world, then, for example, you have a dog. Okay? Every day you look at the dog. Okay? You look like a dog already. Kasi every day, you have seen this poodle? Nakita niyo yung poodle ng mga girls? Bulaw ang buhok nila. Bulaw din yung buhok ng doggy. Kamukha nila. Kaya meron nga silang, they have this competition. Who looks like the dog? Kaya, the person who looks like her dog, talagang parehong poodle, inayos pa yung kilay. Kasi yung kilay dati, hindi naman kilay 2,000, maliit. Malaki na ngayon yung mga kilay. Okay? Tapos, nakadamit din. Okay? Yung may poodle, kung yung poodle na girl, na poodle, so na lagyan nila ng, di ba? ida-dye nila yung buhok kasi yung buhok nila dye din eh. So naka-shorts din yung poodle. Naka-midrib din. Naka-sunglass. Naka-sunglass din yung may-ari. So there's this competition. Who looks like the dog? Okay? So doon nyo makita ba how Maya tricks you? And not only that, you think of a dog, at the time you leave the body, you'll enter that body. Okay? You become attached to the dog. Kaya at the time you're leaving, my dog. That we'll discuss again tomorrow. Okay? Is it clear sa inyo? So, when a person is blind, submerged in this ocean of death, in the desert, the Supreme Person, who is very compassionate, who loves us, sends his representative, the saintly person. And the saintly person's qualification is that he's a pure loving servant of the Supreme Person. He loves us, that's the point. He wants us to become free and go back home, where a world wherein we're experiencing this closeness in pleasing the Supreme Person, and we're pleasing to the Supreme Person when we render loving service. And that meditation is achieved to the chanting of the holy names. And the person, seemingly from here, you see everybody here, but you cannot see the person's devotional service or consciousness. A certain activity leads to a certain consciousness. Kung laging aso iniisip mo, then isip aso ka na rin. Di ba? Intindihan nyo? But if you're always chanting the holy names, you're always thinking of Krishna, then you're like a lotus flower, not touched by the mud. Nakakita na kayo ng dahon ng gabi, busan nyo ng tubig, hindi dumidikit. So, I'll give you one clear example. Two individuals working very hard in this material world, struggling very hard, two businessmen, okay? Yung isang businessman, dahil sa material orientation niya, pagpasok niya sa school about economic development, you must struggle to become rich, okay? Use your intelligence, okay? So, where your heart is, ang sabi nila, where your heart is, money will follow. Okay? So, nag-succeed siya. He's rich. Pero yung consciousness niya, when he gets this money, he'll build a big palatial house for his family. He'll buy cars. It's all about him. Okay? The other businessman who is developing, uncovering his long-lost loving relationship with the Supreme Person, guided by the process that will connect him with life, service to God, which is offering to God. When he works, he gets money, but he uses that money and offer back to God. Yung isa, when he gets money, he keeps it. Kaya it's not what you're giving, it's what you're keeping. Kaya when you leave this world, what you're keeping, that will be your meditation. Either nag-alaga ka ng daga, aso, pabo. Okay? O kaya, have you seen those people in Singapore? You know, may institution doon. Alam niyo yung pets nila? Cockroach. Yung professor, okay, let's go and look for the cockroach. So, pupunta sila sa mga septic tank, kunin nila yung cockroach, ilagay sa botelya. Okay? My best friend, the cockroach. Okay? Totoo yan. And yung iba talagang tinuturuan na yung cockroach. Pwede nga nilang turuan yung cockroach magmarcha. Okay? At halikan nila yung cockroach. I love you. Yeah, it's true. Why are you focused upon the cockroach? Okay? Kaya a certain activity leads to a certain consciousness. So activities with devotional service, surrendering loving service to God, pleasing God, is transcendental. And you can experience an enthusiasm to carry on to live in the midst of this adversity, birth, death, disease, and knowledge. You use this body till the time, the body drops dead, but you don't drop dead. You're always enthusiastic. Krishna, okay? Have you seen we discuss about the Brahmana? He's very old, but he offers to Krishna. And then when he offered that in loving devotion, the sweet rice, he's thinking, sweet rice should be eaten cold. Ano ba? Biko. Hindi mo pwede kain ka ng biko mainit. Di ba? Pag it's not hot, it's palatable. So he touched it. Pag touch niya, paso siya. Why? Okay? So it points that devotional service or service to God under the guidance of the spiritual master and the ingredient is loving service is accepted by Krishna. You're connected with the source of happiness. Okay? So Krishna sees it and then he sends, okay, fetch my devotee. Fetch the devotee to go back home to the spiritual world. To live with Lord Krishna. Tayo, sinong gusto niyong kasama? Okay? All the nakakatakot nga eh. Kasi alam niyo, zombie 1, zombie 2, lahat magkasama. Oh. Okay? Dati when I was a kid, I was really afraid of Dracula. Okay? You know Dracula? Oh, Dracula. He wakes up in the evening and he's living in the casket. Okay? Paggabi, lalabas si Dracula. Lahat kami nanonood. But after a while, it dawned upon me when I saw Devil B, and all this McDonald, everybody's eating this blood. I'm thinking, at least Dracula, he just sucks blood, but they're cannibals. Okay? Mode of ignorance. Okay? Kain ka ng legs. Okay? Okay, I want to eat. May kumakain na ng tao. Alam niyo yung ginagawa nila? Mayroong mga baka, magagandang variety ng baka, mga ano. Yung baka, ilalagay nila, hindi nila ginigray sa lanyon. Nandun lang yung nakatayo, pakainin nila. So yung baka walang muscle. Walang muscle. May baboy din na ganun. Walang muscle, mahal yun. Kasi pag sa sobrang laki yung baka na walang muscle, yung mga ano niya, kaya malambot na malambot daw yung laman. Kaya pag katay ng baka, mahal yun. Ang 1 kilo yata, dati, nung 10 years ago, 1,600 pesos. Isang ganun lang. Yung beef. Kasi pag ginamon, lambot eh. And they want it, at tawag nila half cook. Yung may dugo pa ba? 1 kilo ba? 1 kilo Tapos, okay, invite mo yung girlfriend mo, let's have a dinner for 2 tonight. What will we eat? We'll just eat, half-cooked steak. What is steak? Ang pangalan steak. Lagay mo na, dead body. Okay, with blood. Pero sabi nila, steak. They use euphemism. Okay, sabi nila, hamburger. Okay? Ano yung hamburger? Kinatay na, giniling na, katawan ng baka. Brrrr. Nilagyan ng spices. Okay? Hindi mo mamakain yung baka. Pero ilalagay doon, lagyan ng tinapay, pickles, lahat. Upo ka, okay, sa Devil B, habang, okay? Tindihan niya? Maya tricks you ba? So, the reason I discuss this is for one thing. To destroy your enjoying spirit, your selfishness, that you're separated from Krishna. Kasi when you understand the truth, wow, what am I doing here? Okay? Pag nasa kulungan ka, gumawa ka ng kasalanan, ano isipin mo? Di ba karamihan na nakakulong yung, alam mo yung homicide, yung bigla na lang ba? Okay, nag-adis-adis, nakulong, nagbenta, okay? Pagdating mo doon, ba't ko nagawa to? Okay? Nandito ka nagsasuffer, sabi mo, ba't ako nandito? Okay? Why am I here? That is the truth. The wisdom. Ay meron kang answer kung ba't ka nandito. Pero yung materialist, yung demon, no. Try it hard, kid. Be strong. Okay? Follow your desire. Where your heart is, put your heart. And money will follow. What is money about? It's synonymous with enjoyment. Okay? If you're very rich businessman, that's how I'm telling. The devotee, dalawang businessman, yung isa serving Krishna. Yung isa, when he has a lot of money, okay, I can have 10 wives, mistress. I can, and put them in different places that my wife cannot know about it. And I just say, I have business meeting. Maya tricks you ba, and you cannot get out of this jail. Okay? Tomorrow, let's read about something. Haribol Namaste. Haribol Krishna.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayate
Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayate
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nayanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayate